Yes, I am a stand-up comic, but I also do some other things. I also do a bit of acting. Yeah, corporate training videos. Yeah. Not glamorous at all, dude. No one has ever come up to me and been like, dude, I recognize you. You're the guy that taught me where not to touch female employees. You guys, I have been in 5 sexual harassment training videos. Yeah, because according to my agent, I have a look. Dude, if you are familiar with my work as an actor, you have definitely caused a lawsuit, for sure, dude. Yeah. I was at Home Depot with my wife, and this dude was like, where do I know you from? I'm like, well, have you seen Dry Bar Comedy? You seen Kill Tony? He's like, no, I don't care for stand-up comedy much. I'm like, hon, get in the car right now. Get in the car. And if you're not familiar with my work as a comic or as an actor, here's a little spoiler alert. I'm never the one getting harassed. And I don't want any dork coming up to me and being like, oh, you know, Phil, ha ha ha, but you should know this. 11% of all sexual harassment victims in the workplace are men. Ugh. It's like, okay, sure. But I think we can all agree that those men were asking for it, you know? No, that's why they dress that way. It's like, hey, Gary, you don't want to get your butt cupped like I'm checking to see if a cantaloupe is ripe? Maybe quit wearing those sexy-ass pleated Dockers, Gary. Hey, Gary, you look a lot more handsome when you smile. Why don't you smile for Daddy? Come on, Gary. Come on, earn that raise for Daddy, Gary. You want a raise? Come and sit on Daddy's lap, Gary. Hey, but when you walk over, walk real slow, because Daddy likes the way your balls wiggle when you walk, Gary. Earn that raise for Daddy. Come on. I've been doing this a while, too. The first agent I had, she was like, oh my God, I love your look. You're like an everyman. Like men want to be you and women want to be with you. And when she said that, but when she said that, I was like, wow, this lady is an idiot. Dude, here's the thing, I grew up in the country. No man has ever wanted to be me, all right? Every dude I ever met growing up was like, I bet I could pay that guy some money to eat something weird. And dude, I am 5'7", all right? That is not a height that women flock to. No woman has ever seen me and been like, damn, I've always wanted to be with like a tall hobbit. Oh, dang, this guy looks like he could co-manage a Shucks Auto Zone, damn. I better hitch my wagon to that gravy train. So I got married young. I just told my wife I hadn't hit my growth spurt yet. Tricked her, got her. We had kids very young, and I say this lovingly, and I want you to remember it throughout the rest of my set. I have nerdy boys, all right? I have very nerdy boys. Those are my sons. They're better than I am. They're great boys. Here's an example. My son, when he was a senior in high school, just for fun one day, memorized the first 26 integers of pi. Yeah. When I was a senior in high school, I memorized the alphabet backwards to study for a DUI. We're like different kids. I dropped him off to college, and it made me remember all the times I volunteered when he was in elementary school, which I think should be mandatory. I think you should have to volunteer if you have a kid in elementary school, because what we do to these teachers is insane. 20, 30 kids? That's crazy. Have you ever seen a stay-at-home parent with just 2 kids at the end of the day? My wife would just be shell-shocked. I'd come home from work, and she'd just be staring at a wall, just breathing and blinking. I'd snap her out of it like, hey, where are the kids? She's like, huh? Who cares? Yeah. Maybe they ran away forever. I'm like, all right, chill out. How about this? How about a glass of wine? You want a glass of wine? Every time she'd be like, the wine's gone, okay? Yeah, so's the scotch while you're asking. Like, how about a back rub? You want a back rub? She's like, no. That's how we got into this mess in the first place. So I volunteered. I saw what they went through, you know? I had to volunteer with this one difficult kid. She was like this terrible mixture of like mean, smart, and rich. Her name was even like Kennedy, you know? Like, have you ever seen a little girl and you're like, oh, how does that little body fit all that bitch? That was Kennedy, dude. I met her and I'm like, I get why they shot him, you know? But I have empathy for teachers even when they screw up in a huge way. There's a guy from my town, he's a teacher, beloved teacher. He got arrested with cocaine and heroin. Yeah. It was a huge news story. It was a huge news story. He came out, he goes, I'm so sorry, I've been a functioning drug addict for 15 years. They said he'll never be able to teach again. I was like, that's kind of sad. This guy's amazing if you think about it. This dude was able to afford cocaine and heroin on a teacher's salary for 15 years? I'm like, this guy's got to teach high schoolers about budgeting, man. This dude is the Dave Ramsey of junkies, man. If nothing else, let him keep doing cocaine and be an elementary school teacher. That's the energy we need in the classroom. Just walking in like, all right, 4 + 4 is an 8 ball. Woo! Well, my son, he was getting old. He was almost to the end of high school, and he hadn't dated yet. And I realized I didn't talk to him about safe sex. So I sat him down. I said, tell me what you know. Do you know how to put on a condom? And he goes like this, yes. And then he unrolled his sock, pulled it off, pinched the tip of the sock, and then rolled it back onto his foot. And I'm like, yeah, dude. That is exactly right. Now we don't have to ruin a banana, you know? Because you got to throw that banana away. I don't care if it has a peel on it. You got to throw it away. You don't want to have guests over later and be like, you want some banana bread? This has no nuts. Yeah, these bananas were wearing protection. But he did get a girlfriend his senior year of high school. And I always thought that these young men had to watch out for the fathers of the young women that they date. Until I saw my wife watch her son go on his first date. And I'm like, oh, dude, moms are way scarier. Because this young woman showed up. She dressed up for our boy. She called us sir and ma'am. They get into his truck, go on his big first date. And my wife's watching him drive off, and she's like, did she seem like a whore? I'm like, dude, she's 16, all right? Let's chill with the whore talk. I've never hired a prostitute, but I'm pretty sure they don't want to just hold hands during Puss in Boots 2, you know? And that's real. That was his big first date, a kid's movie. So I was like trying to adult it up a little bit for him. I'm like, Puss in Boots, huh? You gonna try to take off her boots, look at her puss? Ah! He goes, Dad, no. I'm not some kind of dog in heat. I'm not some kind of sex maniac. And I was like, wow, bud, well then you're gonna have a very hard time attracting a quality woman like your mother. He was an annoyingly good boyfriend. I did not care for it. We were watching a movie as a family one day. He pops up. He goes, hey, I'm gonna call my girlfriend right now because she's kind of sad. And this is why I love my wife. As he's leaving the room, she starts going, whoopsh, whoopsh, whoopsh. I'm like, hon, he was born this century. He has no idea what you're doing right now. She looked at me, she's like, someone's got to tell him these hoes be crazy. I'm like, all right, chill out, Snoop Dogg. That's enough of that. He came back 15 minutes later. I go, hey, man, did you solve her problem? It's a teenage boy. Looks at me and he goes, Dad, it's not like that. She doesn't want me to solve her problem. She wants me to hear her problem. I was like, man, wow, man, you are grounded, dude. Are you kidding me? All right, while you're living under my roof, eating my food, you're not allowed to be a better boyfriend than I am husband, asshole. Took me a long time to be a decent husband, okay? And I will say I am getting better. After 20 years of marriage, I finally took my wife's advice. I stopped wearing Axe body spray. Yeah? Thank you. Yes, thank you. She would smell it on me and go, whenever I smell it on you, it makes me feel like I'm married to a 25-year-old. So I was like, well, then maybe we should spray this on you. You know? Oh! How could you come to Tacoma and tell the best joke ever written? Oh! I will say right now is the best time in our marriage. And a big part of it is because for the first time, she's initiating in the bedroom. And now I know why older women are called cougars. Yeah. Yeah, because it feels predatory, to be honest with you. All right, I thought I was the alpha in the relationship. I'm not even the beta, dude. I'm the prey. And you know, it wouldn't be a problem, it's just, she never learned how to seduce, all right? When we were younger, I had to seduce all the time, and now she's coming in with zero game, all right? She's coming up to me like just a horny orangutan. She's walking up to... It is wild. I feel like there's a snap that happens in a woman's, like they stop being all, like women stop being all coy and shit in their late 30s, and after a while they're just like, hey, she hungry. And we met. Did you guys hear what she said over there? She goes, it works! Yeah, I think, dude, I'm gonna give you a little secret about men. We'll fuck anything. I mean, it's gonna work all the time. My wife and I met analog, you know, we met the old-fashioned way, you know, and it's weird. I look at the way people date now, and it's so foreign to me. Like, the way my wife and I met is more similar to, like, pre-civilization mankind than what is happening now. Because at least back then, they had to lie to people face-to-face, you know? Like, 1,000 years ago, a prehistoric young man would meet a prehistoric young woman and be like, hey, I heard the elders talking. And I'm just trying to help you. They said they were going to throw a virgin into the volcano. Just saying, if we don't smash, they're going to throw your ass in that fire. So it's very weird to me to see people date like that. I have a 55-year-old friend. She's been single her whole life. And she dates like a young person. It's very weird to me. Like, we were hanging out one day. She pulls her phone out and she goes, it's not going to work out with this guy I've been talking to. I asked him to send me a picture of his penis. And it's too small. I was like, well, I didn't think I was going to say this today, but can I please see a picture of this strange man's penis? She turned her phone. I got to be honest, my feelings were hurt, dude. My feelings were hurt, all right? I started defending that anonymous torso like it was my grandfather who fought in World War II. I'm like, that's a good dick right there. That's a good American dick right there. Hey, if it wasn't for dicks like that, we'd all be speaking German right now, goddammit. She's like, what are you talking about? He's Mexican. I'm like, sí, exactamente. ¿Por qué no te gusta el pene perfecto? Este pene es perfecto. ¿Por qué no te gusta lo? Here's the thing. I thought she was going to show me like an acorn stuck in a tree. Nah, dude, she showed me a branch buckling from the weight of its own wood. You know, I thought she was going to show me a useless genetic freak. You know, like a pug. We all know a pug, right? A bulging eye, can't even breathe. You look at a pug, it's like... Every time I see a pug, I'm like, I love old dogs. And the owners are like, it's a puppy. You're like, Jesus Christ, put it out of its misery. You know, a pug, right? She didn't show me a pug. She showed me a golden retriever, all right? I'm like, what more do you want? What do you want? You want a St. Bernard? Is that what you want? You want a St. Bernard at 55 years old. All right, that feels like a young woman's game, all right? You're blown out. Listen, I'm going to give you some advice. If you're walking a St. Bernard every day at 55, you're both going to die early of hip dysplasia. So I started thinking philosophical about myself. I'm like, you know, who am I, you know? What am I on this metaphorical dog dick spectrum that we call life, man, you know? I realized pretty quickly I'm a sheepdog, you know? Not a big dog, not a big dog. Nobody would say it's a small dog. No, people would say it's a very adequately sized dog, actually. But you know what most people would say? Enthusiastic. You ever seen a sheepdog when it's time to herd sheep? They're like, this is the best day of my life. It's me. I'm a sheepdog. Best part about a sheepdog, when it's not time to herd the sheep, they're not bugging the sheep. They're in a field somewhere thinking about sheep. They're like, is it time? No? All right, you let me know when you're ready. And when you're ready, I'm gonna fucking herd you so hard. All right, guys, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. Take care. Good night.